Hey guys, what's going on? This is John Fears. Welcome back to Fearsman26. I am honored to have my friend Randy be the official second professional interview on Fearsman26. We're going to get at it right here, right now. I prepared some questions, and I'm honored to interview my friend Randy. Here we are. Randy, welcome. How are you, my friend? So Randy, I've been really looking forward to this, buddy. I hope you're doing well. All right, Randall, I've prepared some questions all week, and we're gonna do some like set questions, and then I'm gonna do some rapid fire questions, and then I'm gonna do some off the cusp questions, and then I'm gonna give it to you, and you can ask me whatever you want. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So let me just pull up my my questions here, and we'll be able to rock and roll. All right, hang on. There we go. So let me just pull up my. There we are. The chat is open for everybody, and we'll probably take some questions from the fans too, if they have a question. All right, I got my questions prepared. Randall, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, first question. When you started to get into film, what was the inspiration? Like, why did you decide to go to film school?
Because college it's just the thing to do, and I really wanted to be a filmmaker, to make movies and, do all that. And I thought it'd be a good way to get my foot in the door. And
was the reason, like, I understand your reasoning to go to college, but my question was, what sparked your love for filmmaking that made you go to film school?
Well, originally, when I originally wanted to be a filmmaker, it was because, my mom bought me a camera, and I just started filming all over the place, and eventually I got editing software, so I was able to cut it together. And I just always enjoyed making like skits and skits and comedy bits and stories, and I just wanted to do that full time.
All right, this is an off the cusp question. Since you said your mom bought you a camera, do you remember what age you got that camera, and do you remember the first thing you filmed?
I was about 13 years old, and I was filming movies with my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That is awesome, Randall. That would be something that I would do, because as Randall, you guys, I loved Ninja Turtles growing up. I loved Ghostbusters. Randall, I can definitely relate to you. I started making movies when I was really young. I didn't get a camera until I was like in my 20s, but I would always borrow my dad's video camera. And like film a bunch of stuff, so I can totally relate to that. Yeah. So my next scripted question is take me to the origins. Where were you born, and then where did you end up?
Well, I mean, I think it's obvious where I ended up. I'm right here, but I was born in Phoenix, Arizona.
And then you lived in Vegas for a while, and then it led you to Florida.
Yeah.
The reason why
I bounced back between Vegas and Phoenix, And
the reason why I asked that question, Randall, is a lot of people know where you're from, but just in case some people that don't know where you're from, that's why I asked.
Yeah.
So yeah. So all right. My next question is what type of movies did you make in Phoenix and Vegas before you started like your videos in Florida? Like, what type of content did you make in Phoenix and Arizona?
Well, you can see a lot of them on my YouTube and on my if you go back. But yeah, I did like a lot of comedy skits, a lot of comedy bits. Mm-hmm. Just funny stuff to make my mom laugh and to make people laugh.
Nice. All right, my next question is, when you got to college, what was your very first short film that you ever made?
When I got to college, my first short film that won an award was The Thrilling 3.
And you guys, if you have not seen that, Randel, I know you've made many videos now, because now Randel has two channels. But when I first met him, he only had the one channel, I believe. And you've made many videos since The Thrilling 3. But I'm telling you guys, The Thrilling 3 still holds up.
Yeah.
Like, the sequel was all right, Randel, but I really do love, from the bottom of my heart, I love the first Thrilling 3.
Yeah.
The second one, yeah, it's okay. It's a good sequel, but my first love will always be the Thrilling 3. The way you shot it, the way you, the music to it, the acting, it was all great. So
yeah, what a lot of people don't know about that movie is that all, except for the opening monologue where I tell them who I am and who Semi-Sec Guy is and who Mr. Metal is, all the other voiceover was filmed in the last hour that I sent the stuff in, because I forgot to say who Linda Meeks was, so I put her name in the subtitles and I put her name in the voiceover. And then I forgot to tell him where we were at Mr. Mental's pad, so I added Mr. Mental's pad in. But all the voiceover, other than me explaining who Boring Master is, Semi-Sick Guy, and Mr. Mental is, that was all filmed an hour. I was literally editing it, and I was like, oh, I forgot to say who Linda Meeks was. So, yeah.
Well, you know what, Randall? I'm sure other filmmakers can attest to it. Sometimes the last waking moment kind of gems and ideas are what makes the movie or the piece of artwork great.
Yeah.
You know, like I watched the movie of how Charles Dickens made A Christmas Carol. He wrote on the go. He ate on the go. He would write sometimes in his study. He would write sometimes, you know, in a bar. And he grabbed stuff from real people in his life, and he grabbed stuff out of his mind, and he was like, wait a minute, what did you say? That sounds great. And he would just add it in. And now it's one of the most beloved Christmas stories ever.
Yeah. So, Charles Dickinson. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yep. Is that how you say his name?
No, it's Dickens.
Dickens. I'm sorry. I mispronounced his name. I apologize. He's got such a hard last name. Charles Dickinson. Is that how you say it?
Dickens.
Dickens. God, it's so hard to say. I apologize. Charles Dickens. All right. Sorry about that. All right. My next question is, Randall, do you remember, if you can't remember the first one, just give me the first one you can remember. But if you can remember the first one, tell the audience, what is the first movie that you've ever watched, ever?
I think I had HBO, and I think it was Police Academy, like 2 or 4. Okay,
that was the very first one. And
yeah,
did that kind of influence you to become a filmmaker? Like when you watched it, did it have a big impact? Because I know when I watched Goonies and Ghostbusters, it left a big impact on me.
Yeah, it was something that I wanted to do. And, you know, I mean, back then I was like 4 or 5, and I just thought, you know, people just took a camera and then people just said whatever they wanted to, and then they made a movie out of it. You know, like at 5 years old, I had no idea how they made a movie. I was like, okay, you just take a bunch of people, put them in a room, and just film them, and that's all you have to do. And I was like, there is so much more to that.
Exactly. Like Randall, I'm being honest, I pretty much thought the same thing, because when you're little, you don't really know. But when I got to high school, I took a bunch of film classes, and because my school offered not many film classes, they offered 2 film classes and then a drama class to teach you how to like act in plays, and I took that. And then I was part of the drama club where you put on plays. And once I did all that, then I figured, well, a play is like a movie. It's just you're not filming it. You're just acting it. You're acting it out to people. So I learned very quick between high school and college. There's a lot more that takes place when you make a movie. Which leads into my next question. Besides film, did you kind of do like what I did? Did you ever act in any plays or any like skits or anything like that to help mold you into a filmmaker? Because I did lots of plays in high school and college
and
at church?
No, I wasn't in any plays. I had terrible stage fright. Now I would do it in a heartbeat. But I was in drama class,
Okay.
and we would act out scenes in there. And I remember one time we were rehearsing Romeo and Juliet, and I was playing the mayor of Verona, and I wasn't quite giving a good performance. And then the drama teacher kept making me angry. I could tell she was purposely doing stuff to make me angry. And the character of the mayor of Verona is supposed to be angry. So finally, she got me so mad that I went up there. I did the scene, and I screamed it and yelled it, and that's how it's supposed to be played. And I screamed it and yelled it, and the entire class stood up and gave me a standing ovation.
Wow, that's really cool. Randall, I've never heard that story. That's really cool. Do you mind if I ask what did she do or say to make you so angry to get the performance out of you?
I don't remember. I just know that she made me angry, and that was the emotion that the character was feeling at the time. So that was the correct emotion to have. And
I actually was in Romeo and Juliet 2 in high school. I played the apothecary. So essentially I play not the bad guy, but one of the bad guys, and I essentially kill Romeo because without the poison, he wouldn't have been killed. So I sell him the poison. So that was a really cool, because she wanted me to play Romeo, and I said, I think it's so much more fun to play a villain, you know? And I said, I don't mind playing the hero, because I in another play, I did a hero for my drama teacher, and I said, well, last time I played a hero, this time I would love to play a villain. And then she goes, John, I've got the best part for you. She goes, you can be the guy that sells the poison to Romeo. So I played the apothecary. So that was a good part. All right, Randall, it's time for an unscripted question. You ask me something, and then I'll ask you something. An unscripted one. Go for it.
All right. Do you think you're successful? Why or why not?
I think I'm successful in some parts and unsuccessful in other parts. And what I mean by that is like I kind of gave up on like going to Hollywood and filmmaking, but because my family needed me, you know, at the time, and two, I was a little nervous to move to California, because nothing against what our friend Mike does, the dude. But, you know, he works like paycheck to paycheck, like, you know, gig to gig to gig to gig. And I'm like, well, what if you don't get a gig? You know, then you're scraping for money. And I always like a paycheck that I know that's coming in every single week, you know. Now I remember the dude said now he doesn't work in Hollywood. He has another job. I forgot what he does. And I forgot the reason why he stopped doing it. But that's one reason I kind of gave up on it, you know. Yeah. And then the other aspect, though, I feel very successful that my YouTube channel and my TikTok are finally taking off. I finally got monetized. You know, I'm making not a lot of money, but some money. But you know, it'll grow. It'll grow in time. Yeah. I'm getting recognition. I have amazing, wonderful fans that have gotten me so much stuff, and they don't have to. They just do it out of the kindness of their heart, and I really appreciate that. I always tell them, you don't have to get me stuff, but anytime you do get me something, I greatly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So that would be the best way I would answer that question, Randall. All right, my turn to you. Is there a project that you've wanted to film that's in your head that you haven't filmed yet, but you want to, and why haven't you filmed it?
The Deal 3.
That is, Randall, I'm with you on that one. I really want to do that. Yeah. I even told Mike about it when I was in town, because me and Mike went bowling one night, and I said, Mike, we've got to get you in there. And he goes, well, how did we do that, Fears? And I said, you could like record a message, and like maybe like Randall could play like a gangster, and he's like, listen to the head boss. He recorded you a message on his phone. And Mike's like, Fears, I'm so down. So we just got to come up with an idea, Randall, and we'll film it. And Mike,
I've got the idea.
And Mike was like, get my voice in there somehow. And I was like, well, I said, if we got your voice in there, I said we'd have to get Jonathan's voice in there because Jonathan and Mike were in part 1 and part 2. And we would have to figure out a way to bring Mike back because in the second one, we kill Mike's character off. Like he blows up in my car. And Mike put a bunch of after effects on my car to make it look like my car blew up, but it really didn't.
Oh, you didn't actually blow your car up?
I would have loved to have, Randall. It would have been great. I'm like, let's go the distance here. Let's actually blow up my car, you know?
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't blow up your car.
All right. Next question, Randall. So out of all the videos that you and me have done together, because for everyone that doesn't know, me and Randall have been best friends for 15 plus years. Out of all the projects that we've made, what's your favorite collaboration that we've ever done ever?
That we've ever done? Fearsman1.
Fearsman was great. If you had to pick a second one, what about a second one?
The presidential videos.
Yes. So I've got 3 favorite Randalls that we've done together. Rubber Bullets, that Cameo Man cartoon. That wasn't my first time as Cody, but it was within the first 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It was at the very beginning. It was at the very beginning, and that one was just so well scripted. It was well written. Your cartoon art was just like on point. You know what I'm saying? It was amazing. So that's my first favorite. Yeah. My second favorite, I'm going to have to agree with Randall, guys. I love those presidential campaign. Sometimes Randy surprised me, or sometimes me and Randy will talk about what we want to see in there. Like Randy's like, hey, Fears, just shoot off some of your favorite things. And I'm like, DeLorean time machines, Ghostbusters, and Randall will fit that in there around a cheesy presidential campaign. And I can't wait to do more of those. So that's my second one, Randall. And then I have to agree with you again. My third favorite is without a doubt the entire Fearsman series. But my favorite one so far is number 1 because we put so much effort in it. Like it was kind of like what television shows. It was a pilot. That's the reason why we made it 22 minutes long. It was a pilot.
Yeah, it's the longest one I've ever done.
Yeah. All the others have been like anywhere between 10 and 14 minutes. Usually around there. But I said, Randall, let's see if people actually want to see Fearsman. And Randy was like, well, and Randy, I believe it was your idea, right? To do 22 minutes. So you said, let's do a full cartoon.
I just wanted to do a whole cartoon, but yeah.
I think it was your idea to do a full 22 minutes and said, well, Fears, let's do a full cartoon and let's see. And I said, yeah, Rand, I said, I want to see if people actually like my character of Fearsman and want more. I said, if they don't like it, we'll stop at number 1. And so far, people have liked it. I mean, not everyone liked it, but for the most part, almost everyone liked it, you know? Mm-hmm. And I said, let's keep going. So I'm really looking forward to them to continue to do more with you. And I'm really looking forward to them to see Fearsman 5 soon, pretty soon. All right. Next question, Randall. I picked out 3 funny questions off my list. And these are going to be some rapid fire. All right. Favorite cartoon of all time and why?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, great characters.
That's the reason why?
Yeah.
I would have to agree. Mine is for the same reason. My favorite cartoon is The Real Ghostbusters, and it's for 2 reasons. 1, I love Ghostbusters, so The Real Ghostbusters is like a sequel to the movies. And I have to agree with Randall. Great characters. My favorite character is Ray, because Ray's like the heart of the Ghostbusters. All right, next rapid fire question. If you could take a trip anywhere, and money was no object, when, where, and why?
Tomorrow I would go to Canada to meet Amy Jo Johnson.
Yes. Randall is a big big fan of Amy Jo Johnson.
Yeah.
All right, Randall, which leads me into my next funny question. I knew you were going to bring her up, so I wrote, why do you like Amy Jo Johnson so much?
Well, I'm 43 years old.
Okay.
And when you've lived as long as I have, you realize that you've lived to see a lot of your favorite women become like totally haggard and ugly and old and fat.
Mm-hmm.
And out of all the women that I loved from the 90s, I've seen Amy Jo Johnson and she is still hot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like there are a lot of women that were hot in the 80s and 90s that look like, old, fat, and like, pudgy and, got like turkey necks and are all wrinkly and stuff. But Amy Jo Johnson still looks amazing. And I think the reason is because she's a gymnast, so she knows how to like stretch and do workouts and stuff and is still in shape.
I have to agree, Randall. She's still in shape. She's not haggard looking. She still acts. She directs, and she goes to Comic-Con. She gives back to her fans. Fangirl Kate says, "What's up? Look who it is. Person waving. What's up, Kate?" And Kate says, "I like that blue shirt." Well, thank you, Kate.
Thank you, Kate. I got this just yesterday. It's pretty cool. I like it.
So Randall's got a nice blue shirt on. I've got a nice blue shirt on. And we did not. And I swear to you guys, we decided not to match. Like it just happened quick. I just went into my closet and said, "Well, I'm going to wear a nice dress shirt for all my professional interviews." And I said, "Hey, Randall," I said, "have you got something nice on?" He goes, "Yep." And I said, "Okay, great." So it just worked out for the best. So good to see you, Kate. So Randall, if you became like as big as Casey Neistat, because I've contemplated this question too. Let's say you got 13 million subscribers like him. What would you do with all that fame and all that power? Because with as much, like, he gets all these companies reaching out to him like, "Hey, would you endorse this? Would you endorse that? Would you review this? Would you put this in your video?" If you got as many as him, what would you do with that fame? What would you do with the money? And would the content stay the same, or would you change it up? Like, what would you do with all that fame and success if you got 13 million subscribers like Casey Neistat? Randall? Randall? Randall, I know you're not frozen. Randall? Randall? Maybe he actually is frozen. I have no idea. Hello? Wow, he's perfected that. Yeah, exactly, Visions. I don't know. Did he actually get frozen? I have no idea. I have no idea what happened to Randall. Randall? Oh, he's on a phone call. We'll give him 1 second. He's on a phone call. Hey, Visions, what's up? Hey, Eddie. Hey, fangirl. Randall is on a phone call right now. It couldn't be helped. So we'll get back to the interview in just a second, as soon as he's done. I was wondering what was going on. So yeah. Good to see everybody in the chat. It's going pretty good. Let's see if Randall's back yet. Randall? Okay, he's still on a phone call. All right. Well, we're going to have to wait. But the interview's been going pretty good so far. All right. Hopefully Randall will be back here soon. But yeah. Well, this was unexpected. I may have to call Randall. I really didn't want any interruptions or distractions, but I mean, it can't be helped. Let's see here. That's why I turned off my phone. Well, I may have to get. I don't know what's going on here. He went like that, and then he had a phone call, so he may still be on the phone. And then he left the live. So I think he started off joking around, and then he got a phone call. I don't know. Let's find out what happened. Well, give me 1 second here. I'm turning on my phone right now. Well, it can't be helped. I really didn't want any distractions. I wanted to be as professional as possible. But things happen. All right, let's see if I can get a hold of him.
Fears, I've been trying to call you, man.
Well, I don't know what happened, man. Like
the internet's not working. I haven't been able to hear your question for the past 3 minutes. I've been waving and trying to get your attention.
Well,
I'm like, Fears.
Well, Randall, you froze up and then you were on the phone, so I thought someone called you. I had no idea.
No, I was trying to call you, man, and you had your answering machine on.
Well, I actually had my phone off, buddy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to do this over the phone because my internet's not working. It's crapping out.
Okay, well that's fine. That's fine. I got my phone on. Sorry, I didn't know that you were trying to get a hold of me. It just.
I was trying to call you. Yeah.
Well, the reason why I turned off my phone, buddy, is because I wanted no interruption. That's why I turned off the phone, and then I thought you were joking because you were frozen. So this time you actually weren't joking, Randall. Like you were actually frozen, and I said, Randall, I said you're definitely not, getting me again. And then I waited like 3 or 4 minutes, and I was like, well, maybe he actually is, like frozen. And then Vision said, wow, Feeders, he's perfected that. And I said, I know. And then Norman, I didn't see you blink. I didn't see anything. And I was like, all right, he's actually frozen. So then I turned you off just to see if you could fix it. And then when I turned you back on, I saw you grab the phone. I said, he's probably getting a phone call.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to do this over the phone.
That's fine. That's fine, buddy. As an interviewer, you have to improvise. So, well, sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. All right, Randall. My question is, you know how like Casey Neistat and like Roman Atwood, they have like millions and millions and millions of followers. If you ever got that many followers, my question was, what would you do with like the fame? What would you do with the success? Would your content change? Because the more subscribers you get, they always ask Casey Neistat to like put stuff in his videos. Hey, would you test out this camera? Would you review this camera? What would you do with all that?
Well, I would do a lot of deck reviews, review card decks, and I would do a lot more how-to videos, like how to do magic and stuff. And if I had 1 million followers, I would definitely monetize it because then I would get like millions of dollars.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would definitely put stuff up on my Patreon for my Patreon fans. Stuff that only they could see, stuff like that.
Would you donate some of it, like how I said? Would you donate some of it to like charities?
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. And then would your other content stay the same, like your art projects and your animations and?
Well, if I had millions of followers, that means I'd had millions of dollars. So I would. In a perfect world, if I could get somebody to like go out to the mall with me and like go out to like Beach Street, I would really like to do magic tricks for random people on the street and random people in the mall.
Well, as long as you kept your cartoons up, buddy, because besides Fearsman, I love all your Cameo Man stuff. Like your Cameo Man stuff is like probably.
Yeah, I'd still be doing
That's probably like my top favorite content you do. I mean, I like all the other stuff. I definitely like all the other stuff, but I for sure that's my favorite. All right, Randel. Next question. Next question. So, what are like your 3 favorite content like influencers that you watch on YouTube?
Spidey Hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who else. Disparu and you.
Okay. So, and a sub question to that is, why do you watch all 3 of those?
Well, I watch you because you're my friend. And Disparu is, he's really good at like talking and speaking. He can like free flow for like hours on end without having to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then Spidey Hypnosis teaches really good tricks. A lot of them are, although Spidey Hypnosis, he takes a long time to get around to the trick, which I'm not a fan of, but yeah.
Okay, I was just curious why those were like your 3 favorites, and I appreciate you watching, buddy. I also watch your stuff because you're my friend too, so I appreciate that you watch my content back. Randel, out of this is an unscripted question. Out of all of my content, what is your favorite? Is it the interviews? Is it the live streams? Is it the vlogs? Is it the nerdy stuff? Is it the Fearsman stuff? Like, what's your absolute favorite top content of mine that you like?
I actually watch the streams more than anything.
More than anything? Okay.
Yeah. Because, you know, like sometimes I'll like get home from karaoke and or like I'll wake up really late in the day and I'll be like, oh, let's see what Fears is up to, and then like you have like a 2 or 3 hour stream, and I can just catch up with what you did that day.
Nice, nice. If you had to pick a second one, like what's your second favorite type of content?
The Fearsman stuff.
Okay. Well, Randel, I've got 3 favorites. Anytime you make a parody of something, I love. Like a parody, whether it's you doing it with like live action and like real people, or a parody of a cartoon or something. That's my first. That's my first favorite. My second favorite is Cameo Man, and then my third favorite is when we collab and do Fearsman. And if I had to pick a fourth, I do like some of your magic tricks sometimes, because I do like magic, but I just don't like it as much as you do. Yeah. All right, Randel, best vacation that you've ever went on ever. Either it can be by yourself, it can be with family, whatever. Best vacation of all time.
Best vacation of all time is when I went to Valdosta, Georgia to see my nieces. And me and my nieces and my nephew, we all filmed a short film together, and we actually uploaded it onto YouTube.
Nice.
It's called The Big Boss, and we did a sequel to that called Revenge.
So, cool. Is The Big Boss on Cameo Man 2021 or The Mayor of Magic?
Cameo Man 2021.
All right, guys, be sure to check out Randel's short film from a long time ago, The Big Boss.
And we filmed the sequel to it called Revenge, which is also pretty cool.
Okay, so the sequel is called Revenge. Randel, I'd say my top 3 short films ever that I was a part of with you and alone. I love your Thrilling 3 that I was not a part of. I loved when you and me were just goofing off in lab and we made that little short film of like that block guy like doing the Matrix.
Yeah.
That was probably, and then probably Fearsman. What's your favorite memory of like film school overall? It can be either with me or, well, we'll do both. What's your favorite memory of me and you at film school? And then what's your favorite memory overall at film school?
Just you and me hanging out in the lab, and and then I got I got in control of a crew one time. I didn't do very well because I wasn't very well versed in leadership at the time. But I think if I had to do it over again, I would flourish in that environment.
Okay. So what was your other favorite memory besides you and me hanging out? Do you have another favorite memory, like overall?
Yeah, doing the talk show that we had to do in the show. I mean, remember how like you and I weren't in the same class.
Yeah.
But remember how we had to do like a whole TV show? We had to like script it.
Yep.
Out.
Yep. I remember.
I really enjoyed that. That was fun.
I remember. Yeah. I never got to see your TV show, Randall, but we did kind of like a parody of like Jimmy Kimmel's show mixed with like Conan O'Brien's show mixed with the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
And my friend Mike was the host, and we called it Late Night with Mike, and that's the first time Fearsman ever was on camera ever. And I got to play Fearsman. And Visions is going to be the first person to see it besides you, because Randall, you've already seen it. I'm sorry, Visions is going to be the third person to see it, because I showed it to you, I showed it to my buddy Eric, and now next year when I go to visit Visions, I'm going to bring my old demo reel from 2007, and the show is on there, Randall, the whole show.
Yeah.
So I hope you like it, Visions, because Randy's already seen it. What did you guys do for your television show?
We did a series of skits, and it was basically a late night show.
Okay. And then what was your, remember our final project was we had to make a movie. What was your final like movie project? Ours, we did like a detective, like murder mystery kind of movie, and it was like called 5150. That's what we did. What did you guys do?
Ours was called the Malum Mine, and Malum is Latin for evil.
Okay.
And, it was basically this ghost was haunting this mine, and
okay. I kind of remember that, Randall, because I remember one day I came into the studio, and I don't know if you remember this. I asked you, can I walk through your mine shaft set? And you guys brought in like dirt. You guys brought in rocks on the set, and you guys built like the inside of a mine.
Yeah.
And you guys rented like cowboy costumes and everything. So I remember walking through that. I wish, Randall, I would have got some like.
Well, the cowboy costumes were for a totally different project, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you used them for both.
No.
Oh, okay. Because I never saw your short film of that. Do you still have it?
No.
So I remember seeing pictures of everybody dressed up as cowboys and saloon girls and all that stuff. But I wish I would have got some footage, Randall, of me like walking through, because that mine shaft set was amazing. But see, this was before my vlogging days. Like I didn't really get the vlogging bug until I went to my very first Comic-Con, which was 2010. And when I got home, I just took a bunch of photos, and I was like, damn, I should have vlogged it, you know?
Yeah.
But the next one after, that's when I started like filming at Comic-Con and vlogging and all that kind of stuff. But the first time I wasn't sure if I could film, and I didn't want to get in trouble. And I was like, can I at least take pictures? And at the end of the show, they were like, oh, you should have asked us. Like at Comic-Con, you can film whatever you want. You can take pictures. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. I just took some photos. So yeah. All right, Randall. So give us a 10-second version, since I've never seen that short film. What was the short film about? Basically, like a 10-second version of it.
Well, it was just basically 6 people get stuck in a mine, and then the ghost kills them one by one.
Okay, so nobody lives.
Right.
Oh wow! And did you have a small part in it?
No. I was the clapper loader.
Okay.
The guy who ran the slate.
Got it. All right. So the next question I have, Randall, is what was the most challenging aspect of film school for you?
deal because I didn't drive back then. So I had to take 3 buses there and 3 buses back. And sometimes class would end real late at like 10 or 11. And I would be on the bus at like 10 or 11 o'clock. And, you know, sometimes I would miss the bus. And I would have to have somebody give me a ride, or somebody would have to help me get there. My friend Ari helped me out a lot when I was having problems. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
Getting there was a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I remember that you didn't live close to school. I lived close to school. Thank God. Me and my dad found.
Yeah, I lived a good hour away.
Yeah, I lived about 20. It was a 20-minute drive. Well, 20 minutes without traffic, probably 25 to 30 with traffic, but still, it wasn't too bad. Plus, I brought my own car down, so I could see why that would be a struggle for you, buddy.
Yeah.
But go back to my original question. When you actually did get to school, in school, what was the most challenging aspect for you in school?
Dealing with the different personalities, because a lot of the teachers were really cool and nice, but there were some teachers who were just a chore to work with.
You know what, Randall, that was one of my toughest challenges too, except it wasn't the teachers. It was the students that were in my class. A lot of students were very pig-headed. They would steal some of my ideas. And it was like, you know, kind of like who had the biggest ego, you know, like, so you'd have to fight. Like, I'd be like, hey, what about this idea? And they're like, oh, yeah, maybe, John. And then literally Randall, like 3 minutes later, hey, I think we should do this. And I was like, well, you stole my idea, but whatever. They're like, who cares, Fears? And I'm like, I care. It was my idea. So I'm like, I should get the credit, you know? So the only person I had a problem with Randall, like that teacher, was that teacher that I screamed at. All the other teachers to me were wonderful, except for that teacher. I could care less if I ever saw that guy ever again, you know? But I'd say the most challenging thing for me was getting along with the other students in my class. Now, some students, like you, Randall, some students were like really easy to get along with. Like you and me, we were very easy to get along with. But other people, I just could not stand, you know? So, yeah. Randall, my next question is you remember lab, right? We had to do a certain amount of hours in lab.
Yeah.
What type of projects would you work in lab? Like when you were, not when you were with me, like when you were by yourself, because sometimes we would work together in lab, and other times I'd be like, hey, Randall, I'm going to take off. I finished all my stuff. And you're like, oh, I still got another hour or two, Fears. And I'm like, all right, later. I'll see you later. So, yeah. What type of projects would you work in there like by yourself?
I did a lot of faux commercials. You know, a lot of commercials that were, you know, I did Invisible Soda.
Yes.
I did a lot of fake commercials, you know, because I always loved the commercials from the 80s where it's like a blue screen and yellow letters.
Yeah.
You know, the flash, like Buy Now. I always loved those commercials, and I tried to make as many of those commercials as possible.
I worked a lot on Photoshop projects because Photoshop I've always had an interest in. And I've always had an interest in photography. So I did a lot of Photoshop, a lot of photography projects, and then I did a lot of like video editing there. God, the hours that we put in that room, Randall. Oh my Lord. Yeah. I couldn't tell you how many hours between the two of us we put in, you know. But I remember like a professor coming up to me saying, John, you have more than enough. So your senior year, you can pick whatever classes you wanted, because they said if you wanted to, they said you've got all your credits needed and you can just wait for graduation. I said, I'm not going to waste this year. So I just took a bunch of like art classes and painting classes, you know, like the last year. And then I did a couple film classes, but that was about it. So, yeah. Randall, what would you say is what was your favorite class that you ever did in college? Like, what was your favorite?
Screenwriting.
Well, that makes sense because, you know, you like to write, Randall, which leads me into my next question. What was the very first piece of writing you ever did?
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Like, was it a novel? Was it a short story?
I think it was a play.
Okay. And then the play. Do you want to tell the audience the name of it or no?
I don't even remember it. I just know that I brought it into my like 5th grade class.
Okay.
My teacher, so she liked it.
So after you wrote plays for a little while, when did you first write like your first script, and when was the first like idea for a book?
My first script was Cameo Man, the feature-length version.
Mm-hmm.
I think I finished my first script in 2007, 2008, and then I don't remember why it was so easy, but I remember after Cameo Man script, I wrote a feature-length version of the Throwing 3 script.
Okay.
And, I don't know why, but that script came really easy to me. It just like free flowed. This is like the 90-minute version, not the like 5-minute version.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And then,
but yeah, I don't know why, but that script came really easy to me, and I pounded that out. I think I pounded that one out in like 2 or 3 days.
And then, when was the first time you had an idea for a book and decided to write a book?
My first book was the Little Memory Book, and I did it because I was really good at memory at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since I got vaccinated, my memory has gone downhill.
And so,
yeah.
So the inspiration to that book was to help other people like remember stuff.
Yeah.
So out of all of your books, because you've written about 5 books now?
6.
I'm sorry, 6. So you've written 6 books, and then you're working on a 7th one. Out of all your 6 books, what is your favorite one, and why? Like, why is that one your favorite?
My favorite one is Every Day is Magic, because that's a novel.
Yeah, and why is that one your favorite, and why did you write it?
It's the first novel I ever made, and I just wanted to. That book is partially true. There are some things in there that actually happened to me that I actually happened to me,
mm-hmm.
and 80% of it is fiction, but 20% of it is stuff that really happened.
Okay, and what year was that? I forgot. What year was that when you wrote that?
I don't know. I think 2019, 2018.
Okay, so Randel, another unscripted question. Go for it. You can.
What do you think is holding you back?
What? Hold me back from what?
Whatever you want to do.
Oh, so there's a couple of things holding me back. Like I worry about my family, and then I worry about like dying, and then I worry about I worry about like, am I ever gonna live alone? Am I ever gonna find a wife? Am I ever gonna have kids? Stuff like that. And then I get real down on myself like every month. I mean, not that month. Every week I try to apply to at least 1 or 2 new jobs, and I haven't gotten a yes in like quite a while. The last time I got a yes was when I got my current job, the job that I work at now. And that was a year ago. So I'm sorry. Well, it will be a year in September, because I started that job in September. So I haven't got a yes to a new job in quite a long time. And, I apply to like 1 or 2 jobs, a week. And I get real down on myself when it's like, no. And I'm like, well, either it's 1 or 2 things. Either I need to redo my resume and like touch it up a little bit. But I mean, my resume looks pretty good, like, and you helped me polish it up a little bit like a couple months back. So it's either I need to polish it up even more, or I don't have enough experience to do that job, and it just gets me down. So I mean, those are a couple of reasons. But I mean, I do my best every day to put forth effort to try and get ahead.
Yeah.
What do you think's holding you back from like filmmaking or becoming a writer? Because I was going to ask, if filmmaking doesn't work out, I know that you would like a second job for you, Randall, I know you would just write books and stuff your whole life.
Yeah. I don't think anything's holding me back. I think I'm in the process of success right now. I've got some teaching jobs. I just got like $25 for this guy, me teaching him how to do magic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm making money doing magic, and I'm making money doing screenplays. Although I think one thing I need to do is I need to charge more. I think I should be charging like $600 per script.
Okay.
Instead of $375, because it does take a really long time to do. It does take a strong concerted effort. So yeah, I think I need to charge more for my screenplays and maybe extend the deadline to give it a more easier flow and stuff.
I would also say the same thing, Randall. Like, or I would add on what you just said to my answer. Like, I worry about all that other stuff, but me too. I'm kind of in the process of trying to become successful.
Yeah.
Like I said, in some aspects, I am successful. Like, I'm overwhelmed and I'm overjoyed that finally I'm getting, like, credit for my film work, and my videos and all my content, and finally getting monetized, at least on one channel. The next goal is to get monetized on Fearsman26. And then I'm almost at 9,000 on my TikTok. And I don't know when you get monetized on TikTok. I have no clue, but I'd have to look into that. But it's nice to get recognition for my work, And I'll be honest, I haven't gotten many super chats, not yet. We'll have to see how it all pans out. But I've gotten 3 so far, but I only got monetized like 4 or 5 days ago. So that's actually not too bad, But I told all my fans, I'm like, only monetize if you want to. I'm like, I don't do YouTube to make money, Randall. I do it, because the passion of my filmmaking. Kate says I'll find someone. It'll happen when it happens, which I agree. But I mean, I'm not getting any younger. I mean, I'm going to be 40 this year. I would like to have a wife and children in this century. And it has to come soon, Randall, because women can only have children up until a certain age. Or if you do it over that age, it gets very dangerous.
Yeah.
So it has to happen. I mean, guys can have it happen whenever, but women, it's a whole other ball of wax,
Well, I mean, you could have a 36-year-old wife when you're 50.
There you go, Randall. If I could pull that off, that would have been great. Anyway, all right, Randall, ask me another unscripted question.
Let me see.
Because I did a few unscripted questions with my last interview.
Yeah. What new things are you going to try in the future?
What new things? Well, I've really gotten into ever since like my friend Sam showed me axe throwing. I've fallen in love with axe throwing. So when I went back to Missouri, I haven't uploaded the vlog yet, but I will. I filmed a little segment in Missouri of me going axe throwing.
Yeah.
So I'd say
the question was, what new things are you going to do?
Well, I mean that
things that you've already done.
Well, that is new for me. I mean,
yeah, but if you've already done it, that's old for you.
No, I would disagree with that, Randall. Like, it's still pretty new to me. I've only done it twice, and I can't wait to do it more times. So that's fairly new to me. So I'm going to count that one.
Okay, so let me rephrase the questions. What things that you haven't done before are you going to try in the future?
Okay. I haven't really thought about it because I wanted to work on some, like, I've been meaning to get back to my writing, but I've already done that. I don't know. That's a hard question, Randall, because I've been working on my hobbies and my projects that are already in my life. I haven't picked out something new to do yet. I'll have to get back to that question on you. Ask me another question, Randall.
Okay, what are the top 3 things you need to learn?
Well, I'm always working on my patience. So I would say more patience. Even though my patience has gotten better, it can always improve. So I'd say patience. And then I don't get angry a lot, but when I do get angry, it's like I hulk out from 0 to probably 300 within a couple of minutes to a couple of, like, I'd say a couple of seconds to a couple of minutes. So I need to work on my temper when I do flare up. Because like when I do get angry, it's like a warpath, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, if someone makes me angry, I'm like, all right, well, I'll just destroy your friggin' life. You know, like you've pissed me off. So I'm like, now it's time for a fucking showdown, you know? And then it takes me like 10 to 15 minutes to like calm down. But I've gotten better. I haven't gotten like that angry in a long time. And I'm really going to try to not get that angry. So I'd say those two, but those two things I'm always working on. And I've gotten pretty good at it, you know, over the last couple of years, you know. I've definitely gotten way better at it, you know, since the first time you met me. Remember the first time you met me? I mean, I was all over the place, buddy.
Yeah.
Like I like when I think back to how bad I was back then, Randall, I probably was the most difficult person to be someone's friend, and I can't believe you hung in there like a champ. But that's how good of a person you are, because like I wasn't always angry back then, but I remember getting angry at the tiniest, littlest things. I remember one time I got mad at a guy. We were taking a test in college, and he grabbed either one of my pencils or one of my pens without asking, and I had just finished my test, and I brought it up to the teacher, and when I walked back, I saw him grab it, and I just went ballistic. I'm like, what the hell? What, you stealing my stuff? And he was like, oh, well, Fears, like my pen ran out. I'm like, I don't give a damn. You ask before you just take my shit. And I like blew up on him, and the teacher came over and was like, what is going on? And I was just like, I'm sorry, but I don't like someone taking my stuff, you know, without asking, you know. And then she was like, well, can he use it? He has to finish his test, John. I went, well, go ahead. You've already took it. So hurry up and use it, and then put it right back on my desk, you know, which any other person, Randall, like back then, I would have just been like, oh, yeah, no worries. As soon as you're done with my pen, just, you know, give it back. Now, if someone did that, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, oh, yeah, sure, take it, you know? And then, like, yeah, exactly. So, like, now that I've learned more patience, and, like, I've gotten my patience and my temper under control, now I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, yeah, go ahead and use my pen. Just return it whenever you're done, you know? But back then, you couldn't tell me anything, Randall, because I was younger. I was immature back then. So I remember as soon as he was done, I remember I ripped the pen out of his hand and was like, don't ever touch my effing things again. And then I was like, get the hell away from me. And then the guy was speechless, and he just walked away. So I'm glad I'm not like that anymore. But I've definitely learned a lot. So, all right, Randall. All right. I got 2 unscripted questions for you, and then we're gonna sign off on this interview by doing my favorite questionnaire that that the Inside the Actor Studios always do when they get done with an actor. James Lipton asks these questions.
Well, you asked me those questions before.
Well,
are they going to be different questions?
Well, maybe they've changed, Randall.
What's your favorite curse word? I said the F-bomb.
Well, I'm gonna add some in there, because every once in a while he does use the same questions, but every once in a while he'll switch some of them up.
Yeah.
Plus, I haven't heard your answers in quite a while, you know.
All right.
Plus, I always end my interviews like that, because I think it's such a great questionnaire that James Lipton does, you know.
All right.
Yeah, I love.
I mean, before we sign off, can I ask you some questions?
Yeah, sure.
I had some prepared.
Yeah, sure. I've got 2 unscripted questions, and you're gonna answer those, and then I'll answer whatever you want, and then we'll end it, because this has been a great interview, Randall, and I appreciate your time, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. So my first, my last unscripted question is, if you could change anything about yourself, what would it be and why?
My teeth. Because the thing is a lot of people are like, Randy, why don't you, why are your teeth so bad? Well, my teeth, even if I took absolutely 100% perfect care of them, would not look good, even if I brushed like 5 times a day, every day for the next 10 years. Like, the front tooth is chipped. There's some teeth in the back that are broken. Like, even if I take perfect care of my teeth, it's not, my teeth are still going to be bad. So that is one thing that I would change. If I could change anything, just one thing you said, just one thing, it would be that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was my last unscripted question. All right, go. So you said you had some prepared to ask me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you could have one thing right now and only one thing, what would you ask for?
My dad back.
Your dad back?
Yeah, 100%. 100, like, and I wouldn't care for how long. If a genie popped out of a bottle and was like, yeah, you can have your dad back for a week, or you can have your dad back for a day. Any amount of time I would take, but preferably to have my dad back permanently. So for sure to have my dad back.
Yeah. Do you think you would hire a dating coach?
I want to say no, Randall, because I don't want me to sound desperate. I don't want the fans to sound desperate, but I actually am getting kind of desperate because I'm getting older. I've talked to Visions. I've talked to Pixel. I've talked to all my friends. No matter what I do, nothing is working. And now in a couple of weeks, I'm going to take your advice, and because I looked up the next event for the speed dating, and it's in about a month and a half. So and you can't sign up until, like, I read online, they said you can't sign up until like 2 weeks before. So whenever it gets closer, I'm going to sign up for it, and we're going to give it a go. Because I have written.
Hiring a dating coach isn't a sign of desperation. Dating coaches will teach you how to not be desperate.
Because I've written probably over the last 4 years, Randall, on the dating apps, probably, I don't know the exact number, around at least 500 to 1,000 girls, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And I did exactly what you said. You're like, Fears, keep it short, sweet, to the point. Give them a compliment. Tell them, hey, we have something in common. Tell them what you have in common. And then just say, hey, I'd love to, get to know you more. I'd love to, grab a cup of coffee. I keep it real short and sweet, Randall. And nothing I seem to.
Your idea of short is not other people's idea of short.
Well, I already told you. Remember I told you on the phone, like, I keep it to around like one tiny paragraph, like 4 sentences. Like, literally, like, I'll be like, hi, I'm John. Nice to meet you. I really loved your profile, and I noticed that we had this in common. You seem very interesting. I'd love to hang out. Let me know. So around 4 to 5 sentences, very short and sweet. Like, because I always thought to myself, well, if I write a long message right off the bat, I'm like, well, no one wants to read an hour-long message right off the bat. So I said, all right, I'll just try to keep it like 4 or 5 sentences, very, like, get as much information as I can in those 4 or 5 sentences, and then wait till her response. And if I do get a response, it's someone that I'm not interested in. And if it's someone that I am interested in, like, it takes them forever to write me back. Like, I've gotten a few kind of nibbles here and there. I've got like a nibble here, like a nibble there, like a message here and a message there, but not much. So
you should try to keep it to 1 sentence, Fears. And if they're interested, then you can ask them those other questions later. But 4 sentences again, and I know your 4 sentences. Your 4 sentences are like with sentences that are like 50 words long. It's like,
no, it's not, Randall. It's not. I showed you a message one time.
It was long.
But it wasn't like too long though. If I'm being honest, like, I kept it there.
It wasn't too long for you.
Well, what I'm saying is
somebody would have messaged you that, you would have been like, yeah, I like this, but like what you need.
Well, Randall, listen, Randall. Like, to each their own. Like, I'm just saying, it was very short and sweet. Like, it was short. It was the most short and sweet as I possibly could get it. Like, I literally said, my name, the how are you? I liked your profile. This is what I liked about it. Hey, I noticed that we had this in common. Love to hang out sometime. Bye. Like that's pretty short and sweet. Like I didn't go into epic detail. So.
Yeah.
But I'll give it a go, Randall. I'll try and just do one sentence.
Yeah. And try to have that sentence be 26 words or less.
Okay. Anyway, all right. You got any more questions before I end it?
Yeah, I've got about 8 more questions.
Well, I have to go soon, Randall, so I don't want to do 8 questions. So let's do 3 more, and let's call it a day.
Okay, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully, I mean, I've answered this before, but I'll do my go-to answer. Hopefully married, hopefully with at least 2 or 3 kids, hopefully a better job. Not that I don't like my new job now, but you can always improve your job, and get a better one. So hopefully a better job. Hopefully still living in hopefully still living in Florida. So hopefully still living in Florida, hopefully still let's see what else. Probably if I have a better job, visiting my family more than like once a year,
Yeah.
Those are just a few things. Randall, I promise you, though, I will work on it. I've never sent a message with 26 words or more. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm being honest. So I'm going to have to I'm
26 words
Randall,
or less is short.
Randall, I'm just saying, I have never sent anything that long, Like the first one I showed you, I'll admit that one was long, but since then I've worked on it. Literally, Randall, probably 15 words or less. It's very short and sweet. So I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. I'm not getting mad. I'm just saying that's wrong what Randall said. I keep it very like, hi, I'm John. You seem really nice. I liked this about your profile. Love to hang out. Bam. That's very short and sweet.
Yeah.
All right. What's your next one?
What are the top 3 problems you'd like to solve?
That are problems of mine?
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to solve. Number 1, I would love to solve me getting a better job. Number 2, I'd love to solve me finding someone. And then the third one, if I could solve it, I mean, I would love to have my dad back. I mean, if that problem could be solved and have my dad back, I absolutely would solve that, because I miss him a lot, I think about him every day. All right, Randall, what's your last one?
Well, I mean, you only listed one problem there, Fairs. Your dad back.
No, Randall, that was 3 problems. Randall, I don't know if you're listening. I just said the 3 that I would solve.
What are they?
I just said I would solve getting a better job. And then I just said I would solve my problem of not having anyone, and getting married.
Okay.
And then the third one was if I could bring my dad back.
Okay. So what is your plan to grow as a person?
Just keep working hard at my job, keep working hard at all of my projects, keep in touch with my friends and my family, keep applying for jobs, keep searching for a lady, just do the best job and be the best John Fears I possibly can be.
Okay.
All right, Randall. I'm getting a little tired, so I'm going to end this interview. All right, you ready for the questionnaire?
Yeah, sure.
All right. First question. What is your favorite word?
Results.
And why is that your favorite word?
Because that's what I like.
All right. What's your least favorite word and why?
Poop, because it's immature and stupid.
Okay. What's your favorite noise? Or what's a sound or a noise that you love?
When people scream after I do a magic trick.
And why? Why do you like that?
Because it means I'm doing a good job.
Okay. What's your least favorite sound and why?
My least favorite sound is when I pick up the phone and you go, "Hey, Randall," because I know something's wrong.
Oh, when I do it?
Yeah.
Or
When I pick up the phone, you're like, "Hey, Randall, what's up?"
is that mine or just anyone? Like if anyone like goes, hey Randy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, normally like whenever I do that, I usually need advice, buddy. And normally I'm like depressed or I'm down or something. I'm like, because but Randall, anytime I'm happy, I also say, hey, Randall, but I just say it in a different way. Like when I'm happy, I'm like, yo, Randall, what's going on? Or hey, Randy, what's going on? So it depends on my mood. But yeah, you are right, Randy. When something's wrong, you'll be like, hello, and I'll be like, hey, Randall, what's up? Like that. And then I'm like, hey, man, I need some advice, but I never take it out on you. I'm like, hey, Randy, I want your advice and I want your honest opinion about something. Like, I'm kind of down and I need a friend right now. And hey, do you think you could answer this question for me? It's something to that effect. Normally is what I do. All right. What's your favorite curse word and why?
The F-bomb, because it's the worst one.
Okay. All right. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt? And why?
Martial artist, because I really like to get back into shape.
Okay, cool. That's solid. And then what's a profession that you would absolutely, under no circumstance, like to attempt?
Working at McDonald's.
Listen, Randall, I could attest that for me, for that being my very first job ever, I was 17, and that was my very first job ever. Working at McDonald's sucks. Yeah, so if you don't have to do that job, I'm not narking people that do work at McDonald's. I mean, some like my one buddy, he still works at McDonald's, and he started off on the drive-thru, and now he works.
Some people have to work at McDonald's, and to them, I applaud them because as somebody has to make my chicken McNuggets.
Well, what I was trying to
make my Oreo shake.
What I was trying to say was,
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. What I was trying to say is I'm not narking the people that work at McDonald's. Just I didn't like it when I worked there. But like what I was about to say before you said that, my one friend that I used to work at McDonald's he started off on the drive-thru, and then I took over for him, and now he still works at McDonald's, but he works in the corporate office. So he made it a career. So I'd say when I went off to college, he moved out of his actual McDonald's like restaurant, and they offered him a job at corporate. So, and I was like, well, hey, good for him. I'm like, he wanted to make a career and he wanted to work at the corporate office. Hey, good for him, But since I didn't move to a corporate office, Randall, and I had two of the worst jobs ever when I worked at McDonald's. I worked the drive-thru. I'm sorry, there was three. The drive-thru sucked because you had to ask every single person to say it again, because they would either say it quietly or they would like blast my eardrums. And then whenever you like blast into the microphone, it kind of gets all chopped up and you can barely hear. Like it's just like, when they're screaming. So I'd be like, please talk in a normal voice, so it's not too loud and it's not too quiet. Just say it like this. Say it like how I'm talking right now, That was the first one that I hated. I didn't like being a cashier because you have to deal with every single person that comes in. And then the only reason why, before I quit and got a better job, the only reason why I took the janitor position was you make more money, and I worked at night. So I just cleaned the entire restaurant. And he said, John, he goes, the last guy quit, but I'll pay you like $3 extra if you become our janitor. And I was like, fine, that's cool. Kate says, you could be a professional interviewer. You should look into journalism. Well, I did take some journalism classes, Kate, but I appreciate you saying that. I did. All right, Randall. All right. Finally, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You're going to get everything you really wanted that you want.
That's nice, Randall. That's good. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, Randall. Well, I appreciate this interview, buddy. I'm gonna call you in probably like like 10, 20 minutes. And then I'm probably going to do another stream tonight. But I just want to thank my guest, Randel Brown. Randel, it's been an amazing interview, buddy. I can't thank you enough for all your time.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it. And maybe we'll do a follow-up interview with Randel. But hopefully the next interview that I do on this channel, guys, is interviewing Visions, because I really want to interview him. He's also a buddy, but he also owns his own business. So we'll see if Visions will allow me to do that. But anyway, Randel, go ahead and plug all of your social medias, my friend.
You can find me on Candyman2021 or the Mayor of Magic. If you want to check out my magic, you can go to iamrandybrown.wixsite.com/magic. Or if you want to check out my writings and things that I've written, you can go to iamrandybrown.wixsite.com/script. And you can see all my scripts there. And then I have 6 books out. The first book is 7 Little Tricks, the Little Memory Book, 7 Little Tricks That Make a Big Difference. And then my next book is Quantify and Achieve Your Goals. After that is the book on comedy and the art of funny. And then Every Day is Magic, which is my first novel. And then we have the 13 most common fiction writing mistakes and how to fix them. And then the last book is The Tiny Book of Awesome Magic, which is on both Kindle and paperback right now.
Nice. And so are you working on a 7th book?
Yes.
Do you want to tell the fans a little bit about it, or do you want to leave them in suspense?
No, the 7th book is going to be called The One Day Screenplay, How to Write a Screenplay in 24 Hours. And it is going to be done sometime by the end of the year.
And when do you expect it to be on Amazon so they can buy it?
Probably sometime within the next 3 months. And also there is going to be a 26-page workbook that is a quick start guide that will help you get up and running and creating scripts quickly, easily, and without any hassle.
Nice. Well, Visions says, we bring the magic, but Randel, what's your signature phrase? We bring the magic.
My catchphrase is, I do the card tricks, but you all bring the magic.
Oh, that's right. That's why Vision said we bring the magic. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, Randel, when's the my very last question is when's the next magic performance? Like when's the next magic gig? Where are you gonna? When is that taking place?
Well, I'd rather not say, but it is coming very soon.
Okay, very soon. Hopefully we'll get to see some video content of that, guys, because Randel, I do love when you post like your videos on your stand-up, and I do love when you post your videos on magic. Those are always really good. All right, well, it's been an honor and a pleasure. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to Fearsman26 and Fears Vlogs. And this is Fears, and this is
Randel.
And we will see you guys later. Peace out.